Hey John, I wanted to share 4 things about the Evolution Tour, and here's the first one. Ever since I got this machine, I noticed that when I walk past the machine, sometimes I'm walking and I tend to bump into this corner. It's probably just me being clumsy, but on my previous machine, this edge, well, it was a solid base. It was tapered off, so it wasn't as high. And looking under this cover, I mean, I can see why it's so high because of the stand being as high as it is. So I don't know if that can be changed, but it's something that I've noticed that I just bump into once in a while. One thing I did notice when you're stringing one piece or around the world, when you have a long side, sometimes the string can get caught under the turntable. And I've had situations where I had to pull the string through to make sure that it doesn't get tangled. So in this case, you can see that the string is getting caught here. So to remedy that, well, in this case, I'm going to just take, I'm just getting the string untangled through that bottom part of the turntable. And again, to eliminate this situation, I just have to be a little bit more deliberate in how I pass the string over the machine versus just letting it just fall. So yeah, you can see that it's getting caught under this one of these parts here. So I'm pulling the string to get it untangled, and then once I get untangled, then I'm good to go. It doesn't happen so much on two-piece stringing where the ends are shorter, the string ends are shorter. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this next string through. This is a long side. All right, and I'm going to push this through here to another main up on this long side. That's going to hit the camera. All right, let me move this back a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, before I go to the short end, I'm just going to make sure that I kind of drape the string over the machine in the front of it, so that it's not going to lie anywhere inside of here, like that. I'm just going to leave it like that. So I just find myself being a little bit more deliberate in how I work with the long end when having to do a one piece, either a natural one piece or an around the world one piece. So let me just go ahead and finish this one here. So you can see this long side here. It's just kind of dangling in front of the machine. I'm not going to rotate it this way because of course then it's going to pass through here. So I'll go ahead and tension this string. And now to get to the long end, I can rotate it this way because again, I'm trying to avoid any string getting caught inside of here, this area. So that's one thing I noticed that I had to modify on my technique. Oh, the other thing is sometimes the string can get caught. Let's say let's say for some reason maybe the string was happened to be in here, and if it gets caught under this base, and then if I clamp down on this string right here, let's say, I found myself sometimes the string would get caught here, so then I would just have to go back to that string, re-pull it, release the release the clamp to release the string that gets caught under the base. So, you know, I guess these small little gaps can't be helped. It's just the way it is. It's just that I noticed that as I string on it more, I just have to make small adjustments to avoid getting it caught under here or under here. All right, I'm going to do some pulls here, and we'll compare how on each of the pulls what the jaw grippers are doing. Basically what I'm looking at is as it squeezes and pulls the tension, on the string, how much of a string is able to lift up on the back end of the jaw grippers. It's not critical. I mean, I feel like it's doing a good job of not ghosting the string, but I'm just wondering if it can be any way improved where, let's say I'm going to tension the string. You can see back here there's about a 1/2 inch of string that can lift up. So that's telling me that the plates that close onto the string, it might be actually a little tighter up here, and that's why it's leaving this a larger space at the back to be able to let the string lift up. But let's, it doesn't always do it with that much of a gap, so I'm gonna do another one here, because sometimes it can be as little as 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, and I haven't quite figured out what causes that. I tried even putting the string at the bottom. I tried doing it at the, placing the string at the top of the jaw grippers. I even tried to angle it this way, but there doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason. So I'm just gonna go ahead and what I typically do, I just have the string in my hand. I have it, I use my thumb to press down on it. And so you can see again, there's about a 1/2 inch of string that can lift up. So again, I don't know if that can be improved, if that even makes a difference, but I mean, the bottom line is not leaving any ghosting marks on the string, so that's good. As for the string clamps, I do love how small these clamps are. And I don't mind the 3-tooth clamp design, but there are times that I wish the teeth were actually 4 and smaller. Although I don't know how well that'll hold. I mean, I have a string here that I just clamped right there. I mean, if it had smaller teeth, I probably could have fit it right next to the frame right there. And there would have been enough room, but I had to go out here. So there's about a 1/2 inch gap there. On this one, I did kind of wedge it in there, and it got closer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tension the next string, and we'll just see how close the clamp can get to the grommet barrel. So I'm out here. And this one worked out because it got right up to the grommet. So you can see that right there. You can compare these two clamps. So when I get to the bottom, I'll see if I run into any more situations where the clamp can't get quite as close to the grommet barrel. I know that the tension will be pulled out on the next string. So this might not be a major thing, but again, I'm just curious to find out if the clamp could stay at this width, but maybe have smaller teeth. But again, I don't know if that's actually going to do more harm than good. One of the things I really love about these 360 string clamp rails is the ability to, of course, have both clamps on the same side of the racket, but particularly when I'm starting crosses on a 2-piece string job. So I don't have to use a starting clamp on the outside. And I've shared this tip on some of my other videos. So what I would do is I would clamp that first string, leaving this untensioned right here. Then I'll go ahead and tension the second string, and I always do this. I pre-string the first 3 to help reduce friction on the outer mains, especially. All right, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and clamp off here. Yeah. Then I'll come up to this third string right here, and usually I'll weave the next. Well, I'll go ahead and weave the next one here, to get that one ahead started. And it's after the third string when I tension it, then I can come back and tension that first string. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and move this clamp over, and I just love how I can just come right over here. The main thing is the positioning of this first clamp base. You just have to make sure it's, well, through trial and error, you'll figure it out, but it has to be angled this way. All right, so now I have space to move this clamp over, so I'm gonna go ahead and move it here. And it's right there. So yeah, that's a cool feature to have with this 360-degree string clamp rail.